Hello, I'm Anthony. Welcome back. It is a beautiful hot day here in Lancaster, California, and I'm about to do a very hot, fast run. Well, part of it. In this video, I'm going to do a max heart rate test. And when I get back, I'm going to tell you why I'm doing it and how I did it. Let's go. My favorite hat. Can't forget this. Perfect for a good run like this. But you are not coming with me, so I need to keep my hands free. So I'll see you in a minute. I made it back. So later in the afternoon, had to do a few things, but I had a successful test as far as I believe. I think I did. But yeah, so I wanted to do a max heart rate test. The reason why I wanted to do this was because I want to know what my threshold heart rate is, because I've been doing a lot of research and talking to a few people, and a great friend of mine who is a very accomplished ultra runner, he says you've got to know what your threshold, your lactate threshold heart rate is, and if you do not want to ever want to exceed that ever, like unless you're like in a 5K or a 10K or like doing some speed work or something. But in my instances, like I keep bonking at marathons and things like that. So I'm trying to figure out why I'm doing that. So I wanted to figure out what my lactate threshold was, and that was the purpose behind doing a max heart rate test. Before, Garmin told me it was like at 172, 173, something like that, which is pretty average. I mean, I think what the normal calculation of a max heart rate is like 220 minus your age. So that would be pretty much around the same ballpark. But I wanted to be as accurate as possible. So this friend of mine, I cannot say enough good things about this guy. Oh my God, like he just did 45 miles this weekend just for fun. He's that kind of person. Very experienced, knows his stuff. So if you're watching, thank you for the advice. But he suggested that I do a 2-mile warm up, and then after that do quarter mile to half a mile, just full speed as hard as you can go the entire time. And then that should tell you your max heart rate. And so that's what I did. And it went pretty well, I think. So according to Strava and Garmin, so I did half a mile, 6:57 pace, a total of 3 minutes and 32 seconds. And my max heart rate, of course, this is with my Garmin watch. It's not with a heart monitor, which probably be even more accurate. It was 183. So with that number, and with my friend's help, of course, and I'm learning as I go here, so I'm asking a lot of people. It takes a village to learn this stuff. I gave him all the information, and he came back with 92% of your max, which mine was 183, I think, and the number is 168. So that is now my lactate threshold heart rate, 168. So if I'm ever in a race, a marathon, whatever, and I hit 168, I know I'm not going to last more than another 50 minutes, because you can only go 45 to 50 minutes on your glycogen. It's pretty much taking your glycogen right there. At that point, you're not using a fat storage, you're using your glycogen at that point. So I don't want to do that. I want to go as long as possible. So now I know if I'm in a marathon, if I see 168, it's time to ramp it down. Of course, this number could change, over time. As if I hit another higher heart rate, then I'll clock it into my Garmin numbers, and it gives me my number. So with that said, with Garmin, now my zones are So my zone 4 is from 146 to 165, zone 3 128 to 146, and zone 2 110 to 128. So my numbers are a little bit higher now, so they're not as low as they were. I think if you saw a video last week, I believe it was, I talked about my maffetone and if I wanted to get back to it. So these numbers are much more easier for me to manage. I believe I think I could sustain that, but I'm not always going to base my runs on these heart rates all the time. I'm just not going to know, like, especially with my lactate threshold, if I'm at 168, you know, I'm not going to keep on going with that. I'm going to slow it down. But yeah, I'm not going to base all my training just on heart rate stuff all the time. That's just not how it takes all the fun out of things. Come on. So I want to know, what do you use to train? Do you use heart rate or do you just use feel? Heart rate or feel? Which one do you believe? And also, have you ever tested your max heart rate, and what method did you use to test your max heart rate? I'd like to hear about it in the comments below. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button, hit that like. Whatever you could do to help this channel grow, I'd appreciate it. So yeah, it was a good day. After I finished that, I did another couple miles, nice and slow, easy. And I think I'm slowly building myself into the runner I want to be. I want to be smart. I want to train smart. I have a lot of big goals I want to do, and I have to do these things. I can't just go all willy-nilly, as I think I've said before. So that's it. That's today's video. Thank you for watching. I think I'm going to be going into a series of starting from the basics. So we'll see how that goes. I'm Anthony, reminding you to keep running for your best life. See you next time.